Good morning. Today we'll discuss about Comptroller and Auditor General. And after this topic, we'll have a discussion for 2 days on the budget. So in order to understand the concept of budget very completely, one is the parliamentary committees and second one is the CAG. I told you. Right? I'll be using the word CAG itself, but it stands for Comptroller and Auditor General. One of the important, rather very important positions that the Constitution has given it. And when it comes to the CAG, that is mentioned under Article 148 of the Indian Constitution. So rest of the points are so simple with respect to CAG. But before going to the points, I would like to make one thing very clear. I was telling you since day one, India is a federation where there is a division of the powers. And apart from this one, we also understood that whatever the institution that is present at the central level, similar type of institution is also present at the state level. This is what we have understood. That's the reason I have the president for the central government and governor at the state level, prime minister, chief minister, parliament, state legislature, union public service commission and state public service commissions. Like this, we have different institutions. But when it comes to the office of the CAG, Constitution has not created a separate office at the state level. Hence, whatever the CAG I am talking to you now, the same CAG is functioning for both the central government and also the state governments. Kindly remember this one. This is number one. There is no separate office, only one office for both central and state level. Number one. Number two is that during the discussions in the Constituent Assembly, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar made some statements, and he said that the offices like Supreme Court, UPSC, Election Commission, and CAG, these are the four offices. Supreme Court, Election Commission, UPSC, and CAG are considered to be the four pillars of the democracy. And out of these four pillars, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has given highest significance. He gave highest importance to the office of CAG. Meaning, if you look at the Supreme Court, it is giving impartial judgments. Election Commission is conducting free and fair elections. UPSC is trying to pick up the people who are meritorious. So, meaning the future of the nation will depend on these institutions, how exactly they are functioning. In the similar manner, there is another office called CAG. Out of these four offices, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has given highest significance to the office of the CAG. Why so? Let's try to understand. Here in India, we have both the governments, both the central government and state governments. It is the responsibility of each government to work for the welfare of the people. During the time, the governments are expected to spend a lot of money, and they are spending huge money every year. By taking the permission from the parliament, the central government is spending. By taking the permission from the state legislature, the state government is spending huge money. It is not just important of spending, but where you are spending, how exactly you are spending, whether the money is being spent for the right purpose for which it has been allocated, or is the money is getting diverted. So these are the points that will be there in the minds of the people. Hence, the government is also answerable to the people, even with respect to the spending the money. After spending the money, they have to submit the accounts. They have to submit the details to the people. And whether these accounts are correct or not, that should be verified. And that verification authority is called CAG. Meaning, auditing is one of the important functions of this CAG. Auditing means verification. So that verification in India with respect to the expenditure of the government will be made by an office called CAG. Hence, the CAG is trying to look into the money that is spent by the government, and whatever the money that is being spent by the government, each and every rupee belongs to the people. That belongs to the people of the country. Hence, CAG is expected to work so judiciously so that not even a single rupee is getting wasted. That's the reason why Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has given highest significance to this is CAG out of the four pillars. Am I right? So this is the basic idea with respect to CAG, and we'll see some basic points. And after understanding this one, so that's tomorrow when we start about the budget that I'll be discussing for 2 days. So during this budget, again we'll come across the offices of CAG. Then we'll understand how exactly the CAG will function. But today we'll look at the basic structure of this CAG. Right now, I'm opening the document here. Have a look at this. So this is the office of the CAG. The Audit and Accounts Department in India that was first created during the British rule in 1753. See, in fact, during that time, this long back, look at this, it was very, very long back, it was created. And after the commencement of the Constitution, we kept this in under Article 148. It is a part 5 of the Indian Constitution. This article provides for an independent office of CAG who controls the entire financial system of the country at the union level and also at the state levels. Clear? In the first statement itself, we are coming across with this office will control the entire financial system of the country at the union and also at the state level. Kindly remember, every rupee that is being spent by central government and also by the state government is the money that belongs to the people of the nation. That's the reason why it is not just spending and escaping. They cannot escape. They should be answerable to the people. That's the reason why the role that is played by the CAG in the verification of the accounts will play a crucial role. Look at this, some fundamental points again. There was an Auditor General of India even under the Government of India Act of 1935. He was also removed in the like manner and grounds as a judge of the federal court. The office of the CAG under the Constitution is modeled upon the Auditor General, meaning there was an office called Auditor General during the time of this British under GOI, Government of India Act of 1935, right? And similarly, this whatever the CAG we have, this office is modeled on the basis of the Office of Auditor General. Look at this. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar said that CAG is the most important officer under the Constitution of India. And if you look at this gentleman, there is a department called Indian Audit and Accounts Department. Kindly remember this. The people, all of you who are writing the civil service examination, I wish you all to get into the topmost services like IAS, IPS, or IRS. And of course, that all depends on how we are proceeding, that how much effort you are putting it, that's a different thing. But I sincerely wish all of you to be there in that level. And apart from this IAS, IPS, IRS, IRTS, or so many are there, one of the services that is present in the list is that Indian Audit and Accounting Service, that is called IAAS. IAS is Indian Administrative Service. This is IAAS, Indian Audit and Accounting Service. If anybody gets selected to this IAAS, so he'll be working for the Indian Audit and Accounts Department. Okay, now very very important office. In fact, up to the year 1976, the functions of the accounting and auditing were combined in the office of the CAG. Both were performed by this CAG itself. But since the year 1976, the CAG is relieved from the responsibility of the compilation and maintenance of the accounts of the central government. As the workload is becoming more, compilation and maintenance of the accounts have been taken away from the CAG. Now, with respect to the central government, CAG is performing only auditing. Kindly remember this. Look at this. Since 1976, CAG is concerned with the auditing only. At the central level, a new department called Comptroller General of Accounts was created in the Ministry of the Finance. This is something different here, CGA. Look at this. The Comptroller General of Accounts administers the matters pertaining to the departmentalization of accounts of the central government. So now these accounts will be taken care by this CGA, but auditing will be taken care by Comptroller and Auditor General. Look at this. Note, at the state level, these two responsibilities are not separated. Even today also, the compilation, maintenance, and auditing of accounts is done by the CAG. Look at this. He is called CAG is the guardian of the public purse. CAG is an agent of the parliament, meaning CAG is not functioning on behalf of the government. CAG functions on the behalf of the parliament. How exactly he will function, we'll understand after the completion of this budget. Look at this. CAG is also considered to be the watchdog of the Indian public finances, meaning he is the guardian, he is protecting the Indian public finances. Look at this. There are four bulwarks. That is nothing but security or fortification for the democratic system of government in India. This is the statement that is given by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. According to him, Supreme Court, Election Commission, Union Public Service Commission, and followed by Comptroller and Auditor General. So these are considered to be the pillars of the democratic system. Kindly remember this. And Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has given highest significance to Comptroller and Auditor General. Am I clear? Now, look at the simple points. When it comes to the appointment, this point we have already discussed when I was talking to you regarding the President of India. He is appointed by the President of India by a warrant under his hand and seal. Next, tenure. When it comes to the tenure, the CAG holds the office for a period of 6 years or till he attains the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier. Look at this. I would like to say certain things to you. Kindly follow this. Simple one. You need not worry too much about this. Here on the screen, you can see 2 points. Once a person is appointed as a CAG, he will be holding the office for a period of 6 years. Okay? Or till he attains the age of 65 years. Either 6 years of a term or till he attains the age of 65 years. Look at the last words, whichever is earlier. Let me make it very simple here. Imagine a situation. Imagine a situation. A person has been appointed as the CAG at the age of 58. Example I'm telling you, at the age of 58. Okay. Now by looking at this age, so now he is the CAG. Now let's try to compare two statements. Holds the office for a period of 6 years or till he attains the age of 68, whichever is earlier. So in this, if I'm adding 6 years, if I'm adding 6 years here, so by the time he reaches this 64, look at this. Once by the time 6 years are over, he is attaining the age of 64. But in this case, what happens? It is either 6 years of term or till he attains the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier. So in this particular case, he is completing 6 years of term first before he attains the age of 65. So in this case, at the age of 64, he has to get retired. I'm sorry. He has to get retired at the age of 64 because he completed the term of 6 years. Otherwise, imagine a situation, a person has been appointed as a CAG at the age of 62, right? Now, the question is that, can he continue? Can he have a term of 6 years? Obviously, no. By the time he completes this 3 years of term, he is attaining the age of 65. Again, if you look at both the statements, either 6 years of term or till he attains the age of 65, whichever is earlier. In the second case, he is attaining the age of 65 years first before he completes the term of 6 years. Hence, he is getting retired. That is the meaning of whichever is earlier. Hopefully, I'm clear. In the first case, he is completing the term of 6 years before he attains the age of 65. In the second case, he is attaining the age of 65 before he completes the term of 6 years. That is the meaning of this. Okay. Now, so whenever CAG wants to resign, he submits a resignation letter to the president. Okay. Removals here, I was telling you in the previous class, when it comes to the Supreme Court, I was speaking to you. While talking about the Supreme Court, I gave you a clear cut, very elaborately, excuse me, very clearly, I elaborated you like how exactly the Supreme Court judge will be removed. During that time, I made it very, very clear. Whatever the procedure we are using for removal of the Supreme Court judge, same procedure is also applicable for removing High Court judges, Chief Election Commissioner, and also the CAG. Okay. Now we have come across with the concept of CAG. CAG has come into the picture now. So obviously, whatever the procedure we have followed for removing the Supreme Court judge is also applicable here. Since I have explained there in a very clear-cut manner, very elaborately, hopefully there is no necessity to explain again here. Clear? If you have any doubt, please refer to that particular video once again. Now, let me open the document. Look at this. Now, this is mentioned in the articles 148 clause 1 and 124 clause 4. Simple here. In 124 clause 4, we have explained the removal procedure of the Supreme Court judge. And 148 clause 1 says that he is removed in the same manner as per the procedures of under article 124 clause 4. Look at this. The CAG is removed by the President of India only in accordance with the procedures that are mentioned in the Constitution. Look at this. The CAG is not holding the office during the pleasure of the President. It means he cannot be removed by the President at any time. Very, very important point. Ministers are holding the office during the pleasure of the President, meaning during the pleasure of the Prime Minister. Attorney General holds office during the pleasure of the President, means during the pleasure of the Prime Minister. But Constitution has given complete protection to the CAG, and he is not holding the office on the pleasure of somebody. Meaning he is not holding office during the pleasure of the President, means the Prime Minister cannot decide to remove him from the office at any point of time. You have to follow the certain procedures. That is the independence that is given to this office. This independence has been given only to allow the office to work in an impartial manner. Okay, look at this. The CAG is removed by the President of India in the same manner and same grounds as a judge of the Supreme Court. We have explained this very clearly. Look at this. Salary. The salary of the CAG is equal to that of a Supreme Court judge. The salary and other service conditions of the CAG are decided by the parliament. This is important for me. They are decided by the parliament. It cannot be altered after the appointment. I told you already what is the meaning of this. It cannot be varied to his disadvantage. And the salaries and other administrative expenses like allowances and pensions in the office of the CAG are charged upon the consolidated fund of India. What is the meaning of the word charge? That I will explain you when we come to the concept of budget. Okay. Now, look at this. It means the salaries and other expenses of the office of the CAG are not subject to vote of the parliament. Meaning, charged is nothing but when it comes to the discussion of their salaries and expenses, the discussion can take place in the parliament, but you cannot vote on them. Next one. After retirement, what is going to do? Look at this. Yeah, now the CAG after the retirement is not eligible for further office either under the government of India or government of a state. Am I clear? Once he is retired means he is out of the government completely. Next one. What are the functions of the CAG? Simple points here. I told you already, the CAG is performing auditing function with respect to the central government. The CAG is performing auditing function with respect to the central government expenditure. But when it comes to the state government, even today also he is maintaining the accounts, and at the same time he is also auditing the accounts of state governments. Okay, kindly remember, auditing only with respect to the central government. With respect to state governments, both the maintenance of the accounts and also the auditing. And what he will do? Once he audits the accounts of the central government, he will generate a report, and that report CAG will submit it to the president. If the expenditure, if the money is related to the central government, then the CAG is submitting that report to the president, and the president will place the report in the parliament. CAG, president, parliament. And if that particular expenditure is related to any state, rather, then after auditing, the CAG will submit the report to the governor of the concerned state, and that governor will place the report in the state legislature. Hope you are getting. CAG, president, parliament. CAG, governor, state legislature. So this is how the function will happen. Okay, and after presentation, what will happen? We'll see it when we talk about the budget. Look at this. Now the functions. This Article 149 authorizes the Parliament to prescribe the duties and powers of the CAG. Right? So mean the duties and powers of the CAG are determined by the so-called the Parliament. The CAG audits the accounts related to the expenditure incurred by the central and state governments. It compiles and maintains the accounts of the state governments. It also audits the accounts of the bodies and authorities financed by the central and state revenues like a corporation and companies. What is the meaning of this? If there is any other authority which is financed by the central and the state governments, like corporations and companies, so those accounts will also be audited by the CAG, right? Now look at this next one. The CAG audits the accounts of any authority when requested by the president or the governor. Apart from this, the president may also give the directions to audit the accounts of any authority, or the governor may also request for auditing some accounts of any authority. Then the CAG accordingly he'll be performing this. CAG is an agent of the parliament and conducts the audit of expenditure on behalf of the parliament. Hence, CAG is responsible only to the parliament. And this CAG is considered to be a friend, philosopher, and guide of Public Accounts Committee. Hopefully, you can remember this. I was speaking to you regarding Public Accounts Committee in the previous class. During that time, I referred even this word CAG. During that time, I told you CAG is considered to be friend, philosopher, and guide. What exactly is the link between these two? We'll understand when we talk about the budget. But remember, this is very important point. Submission of the report. So once you prepare the report, audit report, what exactly happens? If it is central government report, the CAG submits the report to the accounts. The CAG submits the report relating to the accounts of the central government to the president, and the president places the report in the parliament. Simple point here, just remember this. Very, very simple concept. Very frequently asked in the examination. It is a CAG, and the CAG is submitting the report to the president. Hope you are getting. That's it. And what the president does? President will place the report before the parliament. That's it. Finish. Similarly, when it comes to the state governments, the state government report will be the CAG is submitting to the governor. Got it? And when it comes to the governor, and the governor will place the report before the state legislature. That's it. That's the point. Finish. And remember, in any objective type of examinations, these questions are asked to whom the CAG submits a report. Answer is the president. Right? Otherwise, they will ask you in the examination, the report of the CAG is placed before the parliament by, answer is by the president. Similarly, with respect to the state government, CAG is submitting to the governor, and the governor will place the report before the state legislature. In the examination, while answering, please look at the question very carefully, whether he is asking about the central government auditing or the state government auditing, whether he is submitting report to the president or to the governor. Depending on that one, you should be very careful to look at your answer. Next, last one, I told you already that with respect to the state government report, the CAG submits a report relating to the accounts of the state government to the governor of the concerned state, and the governor places the report in the state legislature. Okay, kindly revise this. Kindly revise this particular video, and be thorough with this. So tomorrow we'll take up the concept of budget, and on budget I think we'll be spending 2 days, at least 2 days we'll be spending on this. And once the budget is over, the whole concept of how committees will function, how CAG will function, everything will be clearer to you. Okay, so I'll stop at this stage. Thank you so much for being with me. I wish you all the very, very best and have a fantastic day. Thank you so much.